We managed to get a private little audience here with our beloved Joel Selvin, columnist, author, rock historian.
So yeah, we're here. I'm not really sure what's going on, but I've been invited, and it's been said that I'll go to the opening of an envelope. It's funny, this hippie thing. It happened really quick. It was over kind of quick, although, it seems to linger on. And ever since that time, people have been going around wondering, what was that? I've written tons of magazine articles, newspaper articles, and even books wondering what was that. We're still not sure, but everybody wants to know.
Music, obviously, is really deeply embedded in the fabric of the culture. People came to concerts. There were always bands. There was always music involved in the events that brought people together, right?
Yeah, the music was the foreground of the whole thing. The publicity campaign was the message center. It was the recruitment office. It was in the center and the front of it all. And you have no idea how good it was. And you walk around in 1966 and go up those stairs to the Fillmore and see what was there and hear what was there to be heard. It was super special, and everybody who was there at the time knew it.
Do you see some similarities with movements and some of the sentiment and the value system at the time? Recycling, they cared about taking care of people, no discrimination, coming together.
Well, that has all continued on. Those are some of the best products of that period. Not just the Summer of Love, but the 60s and into the 70s with ecology, the environment, women's movement, organic food, communal living, Buddhism, spirituality. All of that has just kind of rolled on through the years. So it's not exactly like it went away and then suddenly 50 years later it's back. But it reminds us that there were some really important pieces of impact from the Summer of Love and the 60s that we carry on today.
Are we better positioned than ever, or than we were then at least, to be able to actually bring some of these to a more broader realization?
I think people made progress in the 60s. Some of that was stripped away because of the government, the world situation, but by and large, at this point, we're at a better spot than we were 50 years ago. And when you think about the progress made with the decriminalization of marijuana usage, that is significant. I remember rallies at SF State where there were people who were trying to legalize marijuana, and they were seen as kooks. Who would ever consider doing that? That's ridiculous. Of course it's illegal, because it leads to heroin, don't you know? And so that kind of thinking is all off to the side now.
The plan was evolved consciousness. Yeah, it was sparked by psychedelics, but the whole idea was that the only hope out of the morass of life as we knew it at the time was for a massive evolution of consciousness. Now, that really didn't take place, I'm afraid to say, but they're still talking about it, and it might happen. Bill Gates talks about the power of innovation, that it can leapfrog problems and solve things in ways that you can't imagine before the innovation, and I understand that. I think also that's true of this consciousness thing, that the people on Earth, to be able to evolve their consciousness to the point where you could say, eliminate war. Why not? We all understand how bad, how detrimental, how negative that energy is. Why can't we just live without it? I don't know, because we're not conscious enough to do that. So we have a ways to go. I'm really hopeful. I love the younger generation, what those kids are trying to do, and I feel really good with them as stewards of our planet, and the future's in their hands now, really.
So is there hope that love can win over?
There is hope, but it'll take a lot of smarts and a lot of resistance and a lot of just willpower and community bonding together to make sure that the worst doesn't really happen to all of us.